How's it going, Bat Family? Welcome to another Batman video, but today it's not about the Batman 2022. By the way, I uploaded a new video yesterday, part 4 of the Batman plot and theory series that heavily involves you guys, so if you're new to that, don't know what I'm talking about, go check it out. It'll be in the top pinned comment or at the end of this video. But either way, this video is me talking about the confusion recently with the two Batmen, if you will, moving forward in, I guess, the DC movies, because we have the DCEU, obviously, but then we also have this little thing going on with Matt Reeves with Robert Pattinson's Batman, and yesterday there was a little bit of confusion going on in terms of who the main, if you will, Batman is moving forward in the DCEU, so we're going to clear that up just for those of you who aren't aware or haven't read this yourself. But then I also want to just give my opinion on what I think is going to happen or what should happen in the Flashpoint movie, how Michael Keaton's Batman could very well be developing into a Batman Beyond kind of thing where he is this grandfather figure, and how does that mean that Ben Affleck should exit the DCEU? Like, this is going to be kind of a little discussion video, a little bit of an explanation video, but I'd love to know your thoughts, especially in the second half of the video, because I have a couple of visions for how I think Ben Affleck could leave, considering Michael Keaton does seem to be the one who is going to be like firmly held in the DCEU moving forward, and talking about this whole Earth 1 business, Earth 2 business, because yes, we're actually going there now. So yeah, if you're brand new to the channel, subscribe if you enjoy content like this, of course, and go on to like the video if you do enjoy it. So if you didn't know already, last week, where I wasn't really making so many videos just to rest and recharge on the channel, New York Times published an interview with DC Films president Walter Hamada called "Managing Movie Superheroes is About to Get a Lot More Complicated." And in that, he kind of explains, like, obviously we have the Matt Reeves stuff, but that is separate to the DCEU stuff, and obviously we know we've got Flashpoint, and Michael Keaton is very much so confirmed to come back. We've had awesome concept art there with a new Flash suit, you name it. I've been over all of that stuff before, and the DC multiverse is very much so an established thing anyway, especially to like us fans. We know that multiple versions of characters can exist, but they've never really truly done that until recently in terms of a movie medium, because I feel like they didn't want to confuse general audience members, because some people were like, you have to admit, everyone has a friend out there saying, wait, I don't get why, isn't Robert Pattinson going to be the new Batman in DCU moving forward? And if you tell them no, they're like, wait, what? Why? Because, wait, why is Michael Keaton? I'm so confused. What happened to Ben Affleck? It is a bit of a mess, and I do understand why some people get a little bit confused by that. And to be honest, the DCU continuity is a bit strange and weirdly handled, but hopefully it's going to be slightly more smooth sailing from here on out. But back on point. This is where the confusion initially started. Brooke Barnes, who wrote this article for the New York Times, got asked a question by a fan saying, "Hi Brooke Barnes, new NYT, based on your Hamada piece, some fans have interpreted that Warner Brothers is doing 2 franchises starring Batman, one with Pattinson, which is true, another one with a new actor. Is that correct, or were you referring to Keaton as a second Batman being part of a non-Batman centric saga? Thank you." And then he replied, Keaton. But as a result of this kind of led lots of people to think that, oh, he's confirming that not only are we getting the Batman Robert Pattinson series, trilogy, should I say, with Matt Reeves, but that infers, and this is where, as I said, like, everyone took it into their own hands to think that Michael Keaton is not only appearing in Flashpoint, which is confirmed, but he's going to have his own franchise from there on out, which isn't true. And by the way, that doesn't technically mean that it isn't, but more on that in just a second. So 13 hours ago from making this video, he replied saying, "Been offline, moving apartments, and returned to see this Michael Keaton craziness. I was referring to one film that Keaton has been announced as being in, which is the Flashpoint movie, not a set of his own Batman films. If I had info on him beyond The Flash, I would have obviously put it in my article," which is true. So where things stand right now, we have Earth 1 with, you know, Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman, Aquaman, you name it, like all of that stuff. Like, that's continuing. We're getting another Aquaman, we're getting another Shazam, but apparently and supposedly Earth 2 is Robert Pattinson and his whole little pocket universe going on there. But this whole big confuddle mess kind of thing insinuated that, oh, but Keaton, since he's confirmed to be in the Flash movie, is also going to be the main Batman moving forward with his own bunch of Batman movies. He didn't mean to give that message across, but the interesting thing is that doesn't actually technically mean that he won't be appearing in the DCEU beyond this Flashpoint movie. So in a nutshell, that kind of ties off Brian's, New York Times article that he had with Walter Hamada, and how he did that extra tweet insinuating to a lot of fans that there would be more films with Keaton. But the thing is, with Keaton appearing in Flashpoint, and, it seems that Ben Affleck, obviously isn't necessarily going to kind of continue as the main DCEU Batman. I know there's lots of rumors here, left, right, and center, saying, oh, what if he gets an HBO Max series? What if this happens? But it seems quite likely that Michael Keaton, even though he's in the Flashpoint movie, will be the kind of, and this is something that's been in the rumor mill for a long, long time now, before it even got officially announced at DC Fandom with that concept art that his Batman 89 is returning, that he would be this kind of Nick Fury-esque kind of grandfather role in the DCEU moving forward. So it seems that in one way or another that Ben Affleck will be kind of exiting, and if you understand Flashpoint, granted that this Flash movie that is doing Flashpoint is going to be a very different take, it messes a lot of things up. So it seems that in the events of the film, something will happen to Ben Affleck's Batman, and Keaton will be established as Earth 1's, aka the DCEU's Batman moving forward. Or not necessarily Batman, let me rephrase that. It's more about Bruce Wayne, because Keaton's Batman's a lot older, and this is where fans are getting into the territory of now, oh, but they announced a Batgirl film quite a long time ago, but there was also a Nightwing film and stuff. So, yeah, but either way, fans are now thinking naturally, and I kind of agree with this, that Keaton will indeed reprise his role as kind of, this is what I mean, like Brooke Barnes put that tweet out saying Keaton, and people thought that means more movies beyond the Flashpoint movie, and then he clarified that obviously he didn't mean multiple movies, but it doesn't mean that he won't appear in multiple movies, because if we're going to get a Batman Beyond, then it makes sense for this older Bruce Wayne, who can't necessarily fight crime because his body has been put through a lot of decades of crime fighting, in a very Kingdom Come kind of way. Bruce may indeed hand the mantle to a younger generation. And of course, as we know, normally that is Batman Beyond's Terry McGinnis, if you will, but adaptations are adaptations, right? It's not copy and paste. But at the same time, people were thinking that they might, in this adaptation, with the potential Batman Beyond movie that can happen after Flashpoint, with Keaton being the new Bruce over Batfleck, if you will, that it means maybe Batgirl will be the Batman Beyond, if you will, Batgirl Beyond, which is interesting, and I would love to know what you guys think of that. Would you be down with that? I mean, I don't mind it, but like, why not? But I can also understand the other side where people think, oh, but Batman Beyond is Terry, we should get Terry. And if you're always planning to do a Batgirl film, why not actually do a Batgirl film? And some people were, I remember, around with this whole Gotham cinematic universe, or should I say Matt Reeves cinematic universe with Gotham PD, which is set during Batman Year 1, and it's literally a prequel to The Batman. Lots of fans were thinking, oh, since they're expanding that universe to an HBO Max show, this could mean that they're going to expand it even further, to the point of where maybe after the third movie, we get Jeffrey Wright's daughter Barbara Gordon as Batgirl, and that will continue on in Matt Reeves's Earth 2 pocket universe, which is also a possibility. It's actually quite interesting. There's lots of different, like a spider web where you write ideas, and there's lots of different ideas that can sprinkle off that. Batgirl works for Batman Beyond, or should I say Michael Keaton's Batman Beyond, but it also works for Matt Reeves' universe, and it's just interesting to see really what avenue they're going to go down. But yeah, as of right now, let's just speak factually. Michael Keaton is appearing in The Flash, which we know is an adaptation of the Flashpoint storyline, but there is no confirmation that he's appearing in DCEU movies beyond that. There's no confirmation that he is the main Bruce moving forward, but it seems very likely and not much effort required of Michael Keaton, if you will, if he's just going to play like the Bruce just kind of sat back in the chair. Do you know what I mean? It's quite likely he will agree to appear in this kind of new established status quo, so to speak, moving forward, where there's an old Bruce now, Flashpoint changed that, no longer Batfleck, and yeah, it's just going to set up a new generation storyline, I guess, which lots of people are thinking Batman Beyond. And yeah, you kind of get it. And I don't really see why Michael Keaton would say no to that. He's going to be the wise old Bruce who, I guess, wants to carry on the torch, so to speak, but can't do it himself. But the thing I also wanted to get to is something I've kind of discussed before in the Flash announcement with the concept art, is that if this is really all going down, Batfleck is kind of really signed off. So in the Flash movie, what's going to happen to him? I feel like there needs to be a dramatic send-off. If Batfleck is going to get literally almost rewritten out the timeline, so to speak, and Michael Keaton's is, let's just say, the new Bruce established on Earth 1 because of what Ezra Miller's Barry did through traveling back in time and messing the whole timeline up. You may completely disagree with this, but I feel like the Reverse Flash and his introduction into the DCEU, because at the point in time of Ezra Miller's Barry, he hasn't met the Reverse Flash. So I'm not even sure if I want this to happen. I'm sure Batfleck will be given some kind of worthy send-off no matter what. He's kind of close to Ezra Miller's Flash, or should I say Ezra Miller's Flash looks up to this Bruce Wayne in the DCEU. But if Michael Keaton's Bruce is going to be the main one moving forward in the DCEU, which, you know, still isn't confirmed, but, like, it's kind of likely. Batfleck, either way, it seems quite obvious that he's going to, you know, say goodbye in the Flashpoint movie. I think it'd be really cool to, like, introduce the Reverse Flash through kind of taking out Batfleck. And, like, Barry is absolutely pissed at that. Obviously he would be, and the whole mother aspect of it, Reverse Flash killing his mum kind of thing, but just seeing this other person's like, who are you? And he's like, I'm the Reverse Flash, and Barry just has no comprehension as to who or why this guy is, or why he does what he does. But as we all know, the Reverse Flash loves to troll Barry. If he kills Batfleck, that'd be pretty cool. I mean, I'm not gonna go over every nitty-gritty detail here. I'm sure Batfleck will do something heroic. Maybe something will happen that causes his death in some way or another. But would you like the Reverse Flash to appear in Flashpoint at all? Let's just start there. I think that'd be pretty cool. And if he does, do you think that Batfleck's send-off should be related to the Reverse Flash? Or would that annoy you? Would you like Ben Affleck's Batman to go out some other way? Because I feel like if he just went out through being erased through Michael Keaton's, like, Doctor Who regeneration style, that would be a bit more lame. But I also get the other side of how people might be saying, like, but Ben Affleck's Batman wouldn't just die like that to Reverse Flash. I don't know, it's quite a difficult one, because at the end of the day, Ben Affleck's coming back. It's quite clear he's not maintaining his role as Bruce Wayne in the DCU moving forward, where we've got freaking, you know, future movies like Shazam, Black Adam, the next Wonder Woman, all of that down the line. So that's why a lot of people are believing Michael Keaton is the new Bruce, but obviously he's going to take a much more of a back seat. And, you know, they're going to hand the torch, as I said earlier, to a younger generation. So why not send Ben Affleck's Batman off in a very badass way? I don't know. I do see how some people would be, and this is why I'm not even sure if I like it, but I feel like if I was in the theater watching Flashpoint and Reverse Flash came on the screen and decimated Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne, but maybe Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne just sacrificed himself or protected Barry, and Barry's just traumatized by seeing Bruce die, but there's technically a new Bruce moving forward, and that's Michael Keaton's, but Barry always remembers the Ben Affleck one. That would be really jaw-dropping. Could you imagine, like, evil speedster, yellow, vibrating suit, red eyes, just kills... I don't know, that would be really cool. But I do understand if people would be pissed at that. They'd be like, that's a lame way for Batfleck to go. But I don't know, how do you kill off Batman in a way that's not gonna annoy people? And if you don't kill him off and you just erase him from the timeline because Barry's F-up through Flashpoint causes that, and it establishes Keaton's one as a new one, I feel like people will be annoyed at that as well. It's like, he just disappears? Yeah, I guess. I don't know. But either way, I just wanted this to be a discussion video on top of, like, the explanation for what's going on with what confused fans a lot over the past few days. But I would love to know what you think. We know for a fact we're getting Keaton back in Flashpoint, but do you believe that he's going to also sign a low-key contract to have multiple appearances in a backseat kind of role, one that won't require too much of a commitment from him? Or do you feel like Keaton is truly just appearing in Flashpoint and that is it? But I think that's kind of unlikely. Everything is pointing towards Keaton appearing in that Flashpoint movie and having kind of multiple appearances as kind of like the Grand Master kind of chilling in the backseat. Either way though, if you enjoyed my ramble, like this video if you did, subscribe for more little updates like this, and check out my video from yesterday. I hope you'll like it, especially if you're really hyped for the Batman 2022. It's all about discussion theories and stuff like that. Other than that, check out my links in the top pinned comments, my Twitter, follow me there, I'm very active, Discord server, places to support me, merch, you name it. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you Bat family in the next video. Goodbye.